Idly ho there, neighbors. I hope all is well. I hope the universe is treating you well. I am, I'm not well. I've been sick. And I've been hacking up a lung for the past week or more, and it's particularly unpleasant over the past few days, hence why I haven't posted any videos, and I apologize for that. But sick is sick does, or something. I'm not sure how that's supposed to work out. But, now, here's my ambitious plan for tomorrow, because I decided I wanted to try something a little different. I'm going to do a hangout on air. I'm going to see if I can drag my friend Brandis, kicking and screaming, into the wonderful digital space to help me out with the project. I'm trying to put together a 5e breakdown on the races from Dust to Dust, which is a LARP that I help with. Now, Dust to Dust, for those of you who are not familiar, is a LARP in the Atlanta area. It's a fantasy LARP. And unlike a lot of fantasy LARPs, it doesn't actually stick real close to the D&D tropes in a lot of ways. A lot of LARPs, especially ones with a long pedigree, tend to sort of stick to a D&D model. They have classes, races, and levels, and hit points. Nero is a good example, Solar. There are a few others along the same lines that have that model. This one came from a more point-based setup, and in particular, where a lot of the fantasy LARPs have a elf equivalent or elf, whatever, dwarf equivalent or dwarf, what have you, halfling type thing, the usual D&D races. This one doesn't. This one has some races that are unique to it, and I think they'd be interesting challenges to convert to 5e. One of the more interesting ones, to my mind, as far as trying to convert it to 5e, is homunculus. The homunculus are a race of created beings, not unlike the Warforged, but in this case they're made of flesh. They are essentially a race of Frankenstein's monsters, intelligent flesh golems, but not quite as super powerful as a flesh golem. Just like a Warforged isn't as powerful as an iron golem or something. And they present some interesting challenges for a 5e build, so I'll be interested in trying to put that together. The Returned is another race. That is, these are humans who died thousands of years ago fighting the Great War against the most foul. And their reward for, dying in a glorious battle against evil and the destruction of the world is they spent 1,000 years in a grim prison of an afterlife, only to be released now to fight against the rise of the most foul again. And they have forgotten most of what made them awesome, and as they remember those things that made them awesome in the first place, the things that made them heroes of legend, they regain some of those lost abilities that they once had. And then finally, the third non-human race that's in the mix is the Celestials, which are essentially angels that have sacrificed their amazing cosmic powers to become mortals. But they are still somewhat tied to their previous nature, their celestial nature, and as such have access to certain kinds of magic that are not normally available to mortals. And I thought it would be an interesting challenge to try and create those as a 5th edition race and class combos. And I thought Brandis would be a good choice to help me out with that. But if he can't make it, he can't make it. I'll still show up and talk about my ideas. And this will be the first time trying Hangouts online, or Hangouts on air. So that'll be an interesting experiment. But I've always wanted to try doing one of those, and so we'll see how it plays out. Beyond that, did I mention I'm dying of horrible lung disease that apparently is going around? Because there's a horrible lung disease going around that is killing people, or maybe that's an exaggeration. It's possible that's an exaggeration. I also got this. Now, I have the ebook of this. I could read the ebook of this, but I wanted to have something I could take to work with me on a slow day, sit there and do some research for some topics for the game. And so I got this. This is the 80s through the 90s, 1980 through 1989 of the Designers and Dragons series. I plan on getting all of these in physical copy, as well as the ebook versions, because I think they're awesome. I'd like to be able to, hand them to people and say, here, you should read this. This is cool. And I like being able to read at work, which I can't do with ebooks because they don't let us take e-readers to work, or phones, or tablets, computers, really. So, good to have this available. This is a print-on-demand version that I got through RPG Now, and print-on-demand hardbounds are interesting. As you can see, there's a little bit of a bulge. I don't know what I think of that, but so far it hasn't given me any trouble. So, despite the slight bulge, it's in good shape. The cover is beautiful, as you can see, and the pages, the artwork printed nicely, the images printed nicely. It's solid. I look forward to digging into that one. Anyways, that's what I'm going to talk about. Like I said, I have a horrible lung disease. I maybe need to become a gunslinger, or possibly a gambler, or some combination thereof. But as a result, I'm going to cut it at this point. I will be back on tomorrow, and I will be doing a hangout on air in the evening. I'm not sure what the time will be. A lot will depend on if I can swing grabbing my primary guest, and I may see if I can grab some other people while I'm at it. But we'll see. This will be an experiment, and we'll see how it turns out. Subscribe, like, share with all the people, and try and avoid the horrible lunger zombie plague thing. Yeah. See ya.